Well, hello everyone. This is Chrystal Lynn, Cowgirl Astrologer, and I'm coming to you live tonight, I believe, if I did this right, on my Google Hangout. And I do have my group chat open. If you guys would like to ask some questions, say hello. That would be cool. If not, I'm just going to talk about what is going on and what do we have behind here. Is she not gorgeous? Is she not just absolutely beautiful? Our full moon in Scorpio has just entered Scorpio. And if you're out here in Pacific Standard Time, like me in California, the sun is also rising in Scorpio right now. So it's a very scorpionic time. We have the sun and Mercury in Taurus. We have Venus, Uranus conjunct in Aries. And we have 4 planets retrograde, Mars in Sagittarius, Jupiter in Virgo. What else do we have here? Pluto in Capricorn, and Saturn in Sagittarius, all going retrograde right now. So have you guys been feeling it? It has been like a roller coaster ride the last few weeks. And it's kind of hard when these planets are doing these major shifts, because people don't realize how much we truly are affected by what is going on up in the sky. And I think often you can see it, especially if you are out there on the internet, because it's such a psychic airwave, isn't it? And we're all in it now. We're all in it. That's our line of communication. In fact, we're kind of really uncomfortable if anybody even comes to our homes now, and we're a lot more careful. We're a lot more secluded, aren't we? And I think that with this moon in Scorpio tonight, I want to talk about just some real issues. I just want to get real and honest. I just see so much going on out there on the internet. Sometimes it just absolutely overwhelms me, because especially if you're an intuitive person, you can, feel the energy, feel the message behind the message. And it's hard to navigate. Is that what somebody's actually saying? Or are they really saying something else? But, who are they saying that to? And it's so easy for us to get really caught up in this whole psychic airwave. And often we don't realize how much it's affecting us, how much it affects us to, be constantly looking at this electronic life force that we live our emotional lives by. Did they like it? Did they comment? Did they care? Am I important? Do I have value? And then, all of us are so different. Thank God. We're all so different that, we're saying one thing and maybe we've walked into something that we have no idea about, and we get jumped on and we're trying to swim out, but then we're like, hey, wait a minute, don't talk to me like that. And so, we're dealing with all this really intense energy right now, because there's a lot of issues that need to come under review. And so, first of all, when we move into Taurus season, I actually love Taurus season. Aries season is kind of hard for me because of the intensity. It can be sometimes overwhelming. Aries is kind of pushy and kind of, just right there in your face, and they're pushing on your heels. They've got you, and you're just like, whoa, wait a minute, I can't sit still. But, the energy is so electric that you're not able to really think through what you're doing. So we kind of get into a lot of trouble. And now the sun has moved into Taurus. So this is a really, really awesome time right now, because this allows us to slow down a little bit. This allows us to really stop and ask ourselves, what do we truly value? What is it that we truly value? Never before in history have we ever been able to say, this is what I want to do. We've always done the practical thing, right? Or the thing that makes the most sense, or the thing that's going to make us the most money, or the thing that makes everybody else happy. I do so many readings, and there's one theme in every single reading that I do. And I think it's because I probably draw a certain type of person to me. But every one of them is going through that stage of, leaving that workaholic place, that cubicle, and breaking out Uranus in Aries, breaking out and saying, what do I want to do? Who am I authentically? And Neptune in Pisces in the background is fueling all of us to take a look at our Earth. All those posts that you see of the animals and the people, saving the animals and the compassion and the non-compassion, all of those things coming out, Neptune is bringing to the surface for us to look at our Earth because we haven't taken very good care of her. A lot of us are dealing with issues of brainwashing our whole entire life. And for the first time in history, we can actually go to, we can actually look it up ourselves. We can research things ourselves. We don't have to sit around and be told what to believe. That's socially acceptable or that's been passed down from generation to generation. We can actually investigate things ourselves now. There's so much information out on the internet that we can actually do our own self research. And so now belief systems are being broken and new belief systems are coming out. And with Mars in Sagittarius and Saturn in Sagittarius right now, it's all about our belief systems. What do we stand on? And should we stand so firmly? Maybe we need to look at things and back up a little bit now that Mars and Saturn are retrograde. Maybe we need to reevaluate our belief systems. Are we believing something because it's always been taught? And if we're believing something new, are we falling into the same pattern that we were in, believing the old thing that we're breaking away from? Because I think now, and I don't know about you guys, but I know about me, because I was raised in the Pluto and Virgo generation and the Neptune and Scorpio generation, where it was all about service at all costs. You put the other person first, service in the church, the ministries. You were here to put yourself aside. And with Neptune and Scorpio, that particular generation, we were dealing for the first time with these issues coming to the surface. Deep, dark psychological issues. And you think, well, what does that have to do with what's going on right now? Well, with this moon in Scorpio, this is another healing opportunity. These moons, these cycles, they bring us through certain patterns, you guys. And sometimes we go through the same pattern over and over and over again, don't we? And then there's a message out there that says, don't be around negative people, stop your own negativity, believe in this amazing thought process that, what you believe is what you're manifesting. And then if you're somebody that's really going through a struggle, you think, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? I can't seem to manifest this amazingness. If you follow the cycle of the moon, every month, there's a process that builds, that ultimately releases, and then starts again. And sometimes we think we're going through those same patterns over and over again, but each time we go through it, we learn something a little bit more. We get a little bit stronger. People don't change overnight. The universe is not set up that way. We grow, and as we ascend, the big word, as we grow, then we do attract new cycles, but it takes time. One thing about Scorpio is they take their time. They know that they wrestle. They wrestle behind the scenes, just like Pluto. Now, Pluto's retrograde right now in Capricorn, but Pluto is one of the smallest planets, and it dives down deep where nobody can see it, down far. And then, boom, it rises like the phoenix. And there's a very up and down process. I think we have to be careful that we're not jumping out of belief systems into new belief systems that have the same bondage. Okay. I'm all for learning and growing and considering different ideas. And maybe I would always believe this, but maybe there's something to this. And looking at those things and questioning those things for yourself. But there's a lot of stress and anxiety in our world today because the belief systems are it's like an earthquake. It's like a spiritual earthquake. Things are being shooken. And when people's lives, the way they've always known it, are being challenged, they don't often do very well. And so here we are, we talk about these beautiful cycles that we're in. And I just want to let you guys know tonight, it's okay to get down and wrestle. You know, we all have Scorpio in our chart somewhere. You know, you look in your chart, where do you have it? What house do you have it in? Where is this energy? This intense building and releasing tonight. And look how cool that cloud is behind us. So cool. Is about releasing toxins that have been kind of dragging on all the way back from Saturn and Scorpio. We started out at the first of the year with Mars and Scorpio on January 2nd. And have we not seen a lot of deaths, you guys? Scorpio is the planet of death and resurrection. How many legends right now, how many rock and roll famous Hall of Famers have passed away this year? Prince today. Rest in peace. Sometimes we can't do anymore in our earthly bodies. We're stuck. The energy gets stuck. And I'm not going to speak for God, but I sometimes wonder if he doesn't pass them through to release their energy everywhere. Because when somebody passes, we actually listen. When somebody passes, we remember everything they said that we ignored. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Right? We remember that last conversation, that last time we saw them, all the things that they did. We suddenly see them in their glorious state. There's been a lot of pain. There's been a lot of grief the last few years, emotional, psychological, because of the energies that we've been in. A lot of family issues, a lot of caretaking issues of parents, children, a lot of illness, a lot of cancer, because our bodies are not handling anymore the Well, hello everyone. I don't know how this went. I kind of had a problem with my computer, so I don't know if this is continuing. I hope it's not a super long pause in between that. Yeah, Google Hangout, Mercury retrograde on its way, all the planets retrograde. There you go. So, and look how cool that is behind us now. It just gets cooler and cooler, that little cloud, doesn't it? So, I don't know. I was just going on, and to catch up on my thoughts, really, we are looking at our belief systems and we are looking at what's important to us. And with Venus and Uranus and Aries, we are staking our claim. Who are we? I am. I am. And I've been. And I will do again. Who are we? And there's a lot of energy going around where people are feeling threatened by those things. I just want to encourage you guys tonight to really allow the process. If you're down, just let it be and work through it. There's nothing wrong with you. We go up and down, and sometimes in those down times when we have nothing, when we feel nothing, when we don't have that energy rushing through us and everybody around us seems so happy and so positive, and we reach out and we feel so bad because we are not feeling that great and positive. Don't compare yourself. Let that healing happen. Let that process happen. Get down and wrestle around if you have to. Analyze it to death if you have to. Get to the bottom of it. What is holding you back? If you're in relationships that are not serving you, I know that's a big, are they serving you? Well, it's not really all about are they serving you? Are you able to serve them as well? Is it an exchange that's positive? Do you leave feeling better after being with that person or worse? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself tonight. What are the intentions around you? We no longer can put up with the things that we did because we're just too psychologically sensitive these days, aren't we? And the things that when you look back at certain relationships and certain patterns that have played out in your own personal life, and you look at what draws that in, what draws that into me, because something's drawing that into you. And I know for myself, I struggle with the whole, really being my own creator and having a lot of Libra in my chart, wanting to partner with others and then wanting to go off by myself and then step out and partner with others. And I struggle. I go back and forth, and I always will, because I'm complex. And I know that. And that's okay. And then I have to ask myself, do I want to put myself, how much stress do I want to put myself under? Is this relationship nurturing me? Is it, I'm giving to it, is it giving back to me? Because guess what? It's okay for me to put myself in the equation now. And it's okay for you to put yourself in the equation and have high expectations. Don't be afraid to have high expectations. Don't be afraid to, really say, I'm not going to settle for less. That's the moon in Scorpio right now. What areas have you been settling for less and allowing and enabling? Scorpio energy is not interested in enabling. It's interested in gutting out the truth. Mars is going to move back into Scorpio until August 2nd. We're not done. And if you're afraid of the dark, you're going to be running your whole life. Sometimes you got to go in that dark closet, that place inside, and wrestle it out. And in doing that, the transformation happens. Do not let anybody tell you, just do this, just do that. All you have to do is this. There's not one definite answer. If you follow astrology, even on the smallest scale, astrology is so dynamic. And we're dealing with family generational stuff from family things and our own, if you have children, your own parenting and dealing with your own inner work. And it's not easy. And we have these little moments of madness, don't we, that we can just take on the world. They don't last full time.
You know, if we were all 100% positive all the time, like this, constantly, do you know what would happen? Then that positive would soon become negative because there's no polarity, there's no balance. Positive is only positive because negative is negative. Positive only means something incredible because negative means something incredibly hard. You're not going to just think it away because the planets don't allow for that. I mean, if that were true, wouldn't we all be just walking around in this amazing bliss? If that were true, wouldn't everybody just be manifesting everything they believed in? I mean, maybe that is happening. Everybody's, we're all on such different planes, different belief systems, but that's what makes the world go around. Getting your buttons pushed brings growth. It forces you to stop being complacent. When somebody's pushing your buttons, thank them. Thank them because you're alive, you're passionate, and you have feelings, and you're not going to let them have it, or you're going to let them have it. I know I'm talking about all kinds of stuff, but I have a feeling you guys will get it. And I just wanted to say hello. I hope that middle thing wasn't too long. I'll have to check it out. These videos. But I love you guys. And if you want to come see me for a reading, cowgirlastrologer.com. I'd love to do a reading with you guys. And I love you all. And thank you all for your messages and emails and letters that you write me. Sometimes I can't write in depth back because I've been really busy. But I do read them. And I try to let you know I read them. But if you want to come in for a reading with me, I can really put my heart and soul into answering your questions. Okay, you guys. So, yeah. Happy full moon in Scorpio. Let's see. Can I get my hand up there and make it look like it? Oh, no. I don't know. Don't think so. All right, you guys. Have a great night.